Which one is better? The governor in the comics or the governor in the TV series? Welcome, guys. We are talking The Walking Dead, and I wanted to make this video for a long time because especially when the governor was on in those certain seasons, and I only covered, I believe, season 6 and maybe a little bit of season 5. I couldn't remember season 5 and season 6. I believe I wasn't around basically to really delve in and make these Walking Dead videos talking about the governor. So I think it's time to talk about him and the performance by David Morosi, I believe. And just overall, what I think is better, the governor in the comics or the governor in a TV series. And yeah, so this video is basically focused on the governor, and I gotta say, I was super let down by the governor in a TV series. I'm automatically gonna say that the governor in the comics was definitely more brutal, especially, I mean, AMC can't show all the brutality they tried to, especially with the governor in the TV series. You know, him in the Maggie scene, you know, it was hinted that he was going to rape her, and he did have that, you know, presence to him, that kind of like villainous presence. But, you know, not just teasing it and going for it is totally different, because when the governor in the comics goes for it, this guy is a sick son of a bitch. You want him to die. You want him to die by the hands of Michonne, because Michonne just got the worst out of it with Tyrese. Also, her getting raped constantly, her getting beat up. I mean, she just got the worst out of it. And the governor, definitely, if you read the prequel book of the governor and his little backstory where he was Philip, and then he had his brother lead named Brian, and then of course his daughter. It's actually it's a really compelling tale of how much this guy went. I mean, how far he went from being the man he used to be, because he seems like a little bit like Rick. They are kind of similar a little bit, but it's definitely interesting. But let's talk about basically why I think the governor just didn't work for the TV series. They really just didn't make him. They really just had him like glare at you, kind of like have this. He was pulling strings behind the scenes. You know, he was like crooked. He was more crooked than evil. I mean, this guy really. He just didn't come off to me on the TV series. I mean, the performance was great by David Morosi. Of course, you know, the governor in the comic, I think, had a different nationality. I think he was a little bit Italian or something like that. And he looked different. They looked different. They definitely looked different. But, you know, I thought David did a good job with what he was given. I think they could have pushed it a little bit more. I mean, this guy was really, you know, he was banging Andrea. Maybe that will make him lose a lot of, you know, things that were going on. But, you know, they really just showed him, like, kind of be intimidating. He was just intimidating. He didn't go the full out, like, he didn't kill anybody, really. I don't need AMC to show him, like, rape anybody. I do not want, you know, that's fine, because it's AMC. I mean, you got hardcore shows like HBO and stuff that will show that if it's in the comics, because they will show the brutality of human, you know, when a human is pushed like to like where he's just lost it in this zombie apocalypse world. Because in the zombie apocalypse world, there is shit that's going down. If you haven't read The Road, it consists of a scene where these cannibals, there's cannibalism everywhere, and they will pretty much pregnate their women, and they will eat the infants. That's fucked up. That's way fucked up. And that's not a zombie apocalypse, but that's an apocalypse. So anything apocalyptic is going to have some crazy, disgusting human, like pushing the human to another level, you know, of savagery, honestly. So with the governor, I felt like in a comic, I felt like that. I felt like he was a man that was just freaking getting ripped apart inside of the mind. You know, he was trying to do, he had a little bit left of basically humanity with his daughter, even though his daughter was a zombie. And he just, oh, spoilers. Well, come on. This means how long? I'll put spoilers, I guess, in the title. But yeah, he felt like, in the comics, he definitely felt like this son of a bitch who just basically, he was a dictator, so to speak. He definitely was a dictator. He was controlling everybody. He was using everybody for his own benefits. And he was just going crazy. He was a crazy person, honestly. He was a crazy person. He thought, I'm the king. I could do whatever I want. Anything I do will have no consequences whatsoever because I'm the shit. But with the TV version, it was really just him walking around, giving you an evil eye. Evil. He had a patch. An evil eye, him and Michonne, their little history. I mean, it was, especially with Michonne killing his daughter in a TV series. I did love that part. I did like how Michonne really killed his daughter and pretty much stabbed him in the eye and stuff. And there was like a lot of tension right there. But everybody was ripping apart that finale. Remember where Herschel got it? Why did Herschel get fucking beheaded when Michonne was right there? And that's the woman who killed your daughter. That's a big thing. That's a big. There's gonna be like hatred for the governor for that woman, Michonne. So him killing Herschel, it always, like, I like the way they handled it, but it always didn't really make sense because of that. And the governor, he just wasn't menacing. He reminds me of Age of Ultron. Not the, sarcastic Tony Stark type deal. It's where he just didn't do anything to really proclaim himself as a menace. He didn't really... he killed some people, but he just didn't have that menacing type of, ways about him. I mean, when he challenged Rick, especially when they're having that conversation in the barn, like, if you're not going to go, throughout the comic book, if you're not going to do beat for beat what the comic book did, and you're going to go a different route with the governor, that probably would have been the perfect opportunity to showcase, the governor's just... First of all, his intelligence, his dictatorship. He really wasn't a dictator in Woodbury. He came off as a lovable, governor, which I see what they were trying to do. But even when his downfall came, like, it just didn't... It would have been nice for the people to really realize, oh, shit, this guy is crazy. They kind of rushed it in my eyes. But going back to when him and Rick had that conversation in that one building, and it was just those two alone, the pointless episode, you had a chance to have something there. And I think the writers wanted to do something, but I think they were going to back themselves in a corner of maybe, the governor... you could have had some people die there. Honestly, you could add some, major characters. I'm not saying... I think one of the characters that were there that people would have been pissed is Daryl if he died right there and then. But, if you're going to kill off Herschel, that would have been a crazy way too. Or even the governor's men, what is it, Martinez? I believe it was Martinez. I mean, there should have been something there. The governor should have had something like some kind of trap instead of a fucking gun. He should have had more of intelligence than just go in there and then leave. I mean, I was just expecting more for the governor, and especially when he meets what's her name? Oh God, how come I can't forget her name? Especially when he's pretty much he's wandering around. At the end of the season finale of season 4, I think. And he's wandering around, he's a bum and shit, and then he meets all these other people, and he goes by the name of Brian. It just never came off to me like he was just the biggest, baddest motherfucker, He just never came off to me as the most memorable villain in TV history. There could have been potential there, the comic book governor was definitely just such a man, especially when he attacked the prison, and especially how relentless he was to go after these guys. I mean, you got to remember, the governor was like, he got his ear cut off, he pretty much got raped. What else did Michonne do? She did a shit. She tortured him. And he came back. He should have been dead. But he came back, and that's a memorable character. He came back and he's like, fuck this. I want all of them dead. And when the governor went and raided the prison in the TV series, it just did not live up. It did. The governor, David, when he played him, or just the writers and how they had him, they handled that with him and the Rick showdown, the fisticuffs. It just didn't. We've seen that before. We don't want to see that. We want to see what's coming off the comic. I think the interesting thing that the governor did in the comic books stories, he let everybody in there, and him and Rick don't even come to blows. You know, his own people kind of turned against him. That's what I wanted to see, other than fucking him and fisticuffs Rick. So the governor, to me, had so much potential in basically the TV series, but it never lived up. You know, it never lived up. It's not the fault of David. I think it was the fault of basically the writers and them seeing and them not wanting, maybe not being able to push the boundaries because they're on the AMC network and because they can't, you know, show a lot of stuff. They can only do so much, but you can work around that. You can make people just look at Gus from Breaking Bad. This guy's intelligent. This guy, freaking, they showed a scene where he just spoiler alert for Breaking Bad. You've been warned. Gus pretty much he freaking slits a guy's throat in front of Heisenberg and Jesse. I mean, this guy that's a memorable villain. You know, even Bryan Cranston's character could be considered a villain. You know, he is a memorable villain. With the governor, this is the same network too. So with the governor, they really could have showcased that. And him being kind of like when he's chasing after Andrea in the TV show doesn't do it for me. Him looking at all the heads, sure, it was off the comic book, but that's what all the menacing stuff you're going to give me. That's not what makes a character a villain, really. Just him looking evil. I need him to be acting evil. And even though he was pulling strings behind the scenes and having people do a lot of stuff, he himself was not really acting evil. He wasn't, you know, getting his hands dirty, so to speak. You know, he would have these vicious fights that go on, but, you know, people weren't getting killed in there, really. You know, he was just showing the people, like, a good time. I think the governor was just wasted, honestly. I think he really was wasted. Maybe when he went, a lot of people will probably argue, well, he went out, you know, he killed all these people to get their ammunition and stuff. Sure, you can have that. Yes, okay. But when it came to him against Rick, it really didn't feel like a class. You know, it wasn't too memorable. It wasn't. I think Rick and Shane had better, probably because there's more weight towards it, or even the Wolves. The Wolves looks like they're more menacing because they're more intelligent. They're more part of the apocalyptic universe. They look like they're going to be truly a group of villains that are going to be really, really great. They're really showcasing their cunning, their skill and stuff. They're not afraid to get their hands dirty. Where the governor was just, you know, he's definitely not above Negan. Negan is such a delight he is actually a delightful villain where you just, you know, you hate the things he does, but you're just he's so charismatic. You're like, this son of a bitch, I can't stop watching him. Where the governor in the TV series, he was boring sometimes. He was literally boring sometimes. He was just standing around looking at people. So, I haven't gone back and, you know, this is just based off all the shit I've seen so far. I haven't gone back, you know, to look and see the points by points and stuff. I know a lot of people would likes the governor from the TV series, and that's fine. I don't hate the governor TV series by all means. I think David Morosi really did a great job. I think he did a great job of the governor, what he was given. But I feel like a little bit of me says, you know, the governor could have had so much potential to be much more than that. And it just was, it's like, what's the one movie that I thought had so much potential? I can't think of the movie, but like maybe Amazing Spider-Man 2. You know, you had so much potential and it just didn't live up to the hype. But I just think the governor in the comic books was so much better, was so much grittier, was so much violent, was so much had so much dictatorship going on. But check out the comic book. It really does showcase the governor and how nasty that guy really was and how of a scumbag he was. While the TV show version really definitely was the PG governor. So thank you guys for listening. If you haven't already, please like the video and please subscribe. And that's all I gotta say. Until next time, till another Walking Dead. I'll see you later.